Okay, so we're recording and it's time to start. I couldn't find my glasses at the end of class yesterday, so I'm kind of... Anyways, let's make our way over to our mat and we will start lying down, but have your weights nearby. So we'll be lying on our backs, and if you want to put a blanket under your head, you could do that. And let's begin by just experiencing sensation. Noticing the feeling of your body, how your body reacts or how it changes, how it feels when you lie down. Feel the weight of your body. Feel how your body's relaxing. And notice if you are clenching or gripping anywhere. The places where you probably recognize that you hold the tension in your body, just invite those areas to release a little bit. So we begin in this nice, easy, relaxed state with an awareness of how we're feeling. Let's take a moment to soften the roof of the mouth. And let's take a little time to just tap into the feeling of our breathing. Feeling your in-breath flow in and down. Feeling your out-breath empty and release. As you slow down your breath, just let your mind relax a little bit. Let go of your to-do list and just embrace the easiness of deep breathing. Let your whole awareness be on the feeling of the breath moving into your body and emptying out of your body. And before we begin moving, just take a quick moment to recognize and acknowledge how your body is this morning. If you have any limitations or things you want to be careful of to nurture yourself appropriately. And also recognize and acknowledge what your energy level is like this morning, what your emotional state is. And know that this is a practice of self-care and nurturing. So this might be a morning to really go for it and push yourself, or it might be a morning to take it a little more easy. So really be sure to pay attention to what your body is telling you as you practice this morning. So let's just take our feet off the floor now. You can open your eyes if they were closed, and we're just going to hug the knees in. Give them a nice hug so your back releases, and gently sway a little side to side, giving your low back a nice gentle massage. Draw yourself to center and draw your knees apart. Open them up. Just let your hips relax as your knees come open. Take a breath. And then guide your knees back in. And then release your feet to the floor. So we're going to do dead bug to begin this morning, and you can do that with or without weights. If you have your weights, you'd probably want to start with your lighter set of weights. If you have 2 sets of weights, start with your lighter set of weights. So if you have weights in your hands, take your arms up to the ceiling, and if you don't have weights in your hands, take your arms up to the ceiling. Let the weights rest in the heel of your hands and let them allow the back of your shoulders to be heavy. So feel that weight transmitting down the arms so that the back of the shoulders rest heavily into the floor. And then we're just going to bend the elbows so we make right angles with our arms, our fists pointing back towards the wall behind. We'll lift our feet up off the floor so we have bent knees and bent arms, our starting dead bug position. And then let's inhale and lift arms and legs up. Feel that stretch along the back of your legs. And then bend back to that starting position. So let's do that a few times. Inhaling to lift arms and legs, exhaling to bend, inhaling to lift, and exhaling to bend. Nice smooth movement here. So we're taking our time for the arms and legs to go up, taking our time for the arms and knees to bend. One more time, both arms and legs together. And then as we come to that starting dead bug position, let's do opposite arm and opposite leg, taking one up and the other one up, and then bending, and then opposite arm, opposite leg up, and then back to bend. So slow, smooth movement, controlled, opposite arm and opposite leg. We can inhale as the arm and leg lift, and exhale as the arm and knee bend. And just continue with this nice, smooth movement. At any time, if you decide that you want to set the weights down, you can do so. Or if you took heavier weights, you could switch to lighter weights. So we'll do this one more time on each side, opposite arm and opposite leg lift, and then back to bend. Opposite arm and opposite leg lift, and then back to bend. So you could set your weights down if you like, or take your arm, either way, take your arms and legs up toward the ceiling. Again, drop the back of your shoulders heavy into the floor. Start to take one leg out to the side, keeping your hips level. Don't let them lift or rock. Take your opposite arm out to the side. See how far you can go maintaining that midline stability, and then bring that arm and leg back up. Let's do the other side. Leg goes out to the side, opposite arm goes out to the side. How far can you take that leg without losing the stability in the hips? And then bring that arm and leg back up. So we're gonna go slow and controlled this morning. Opposite arm and opposite leg open out with an awareness of keeping the hips level. And then that arm and leg come back up. And then the other side. So we're going to our edge of where we can maintain that stability and then coming back up. So continue like this. Inhaling to open and exhaling back up. Nice and slow and controlled. The hips stay level, the back of the shoulders stays on the floor. We're opening up. And with the arms and the legs going out to the side, that midline just stays rock solid. From your chin to your pubic bone, that area doesn't deviate. Focus on that midline stability. Let's do one more time on each side. Inhaling to open and exhaling back up, and inhaling to open and exhaling back up. So another chance to drop the weights if you like. From here, we're going to take one arm overhead towards the wall behind you and extend the other leg out without letting it touch. You could also bend a knee and tap a toe to the floor. Then that arm and leg come back up. And then other arm and other leg, extending out with your in-breath and then exhaling back up. So reach out long and then come back up. Inhale to extend, exhale back up. Can you feel the back of your shoulder on the floor? You can even press the back of the shoulder into the floor as your arm comes back up toward the ceiling. So inhaling to extend, exhaling back up, inhaling to extend, and exhaling back up. Let's do two more on each side. Extending out and coming back up. Last one here. Nice job. All right, let's just take a break. We're going to bring our feet to the floor, rest the weights at our side. We'll do our last layer of dead bug without the weights. We'll take the arms and legs back up toward the ceiling. And then let's reach both arms overhead, thumbs reach back toward the floor. We'll press out through the heels as we breathe in. And then with the exhale, start to take the heels away from you, lowering the legs away from us until the back begins to arch more than a little bit. And then the knees come in. Inhale the legs up, press out through the heels. As you exhale, legs move away. Pay attention to your low back. When it starts to be that you can't keep it from arching, draw your knees in and lift your heels up. And a couple more like that. So you really have to stabilize to support the legs. At some point, your back begins to arch. You bring the knees in. One more time like this. Heels press away. This time, as your knees come in, take your arms up. Grab onto your knees. Give them a hug. Release any tension in your low back. You could, again, sway a little bit side to side. And then we'll release the feet to the floor. Let's roll to the side towards the computer. And again, if you have a weight, so you're gonna just let your head rest on your bottom arm or on a pillow or something. We'll bend our knees, stack the knees. And then if you have the weight, grab it. Place your elbow by your waist. So the fist points towards the computer, if you're facing the computer. Your knees are stacked. With the arm, we're gonna keep the elbow close and just lift your fist up toward the ceiling. And then we're gonna bring that forearm parallel to the floor. So the arm movement is just up toward the ceiling. Try not to cock your wrist back. Move from, so your upper arm is rotating externally and then coming back forward. And then with your feet together, at the same time, we're gonna just lift the knee up and then come back forward. So we're opening the knee up, feet stay together. So both the knee and the arm lift up and then they come forward. So we're working the back of the shoulder here with this external rotation. And we're just warming up the hip a little bit here. External rotation of the hip as well. So inhaling to lift. So elbow stays by the waist. If your arm is kind of away from your waist, pull your elbow back in by your waist. If you're just cocking your wrist, try to keep your wrist straight. And let's do two more like this. Nice job. You can place the weight down in front of you, push yourself up, swing your legs around so you're facing the other way. You're still facing the camera, but you're going to work your other side. You could turn away from the camera too. So your head rests on your arms, your knees are stacked, your feet are stacked. Grabbing that weight, elbow by your waist, fist towards the camera or the computer. We're going to lift up. And the elbow might want to come away from the waist, but try to keep it hugged into your waist. Check if you're cocking your wrist. And then bring that forearm parallel to the floor. So we're going up and we're coming parallel. And your feet are together. We can lift the knee and then lower. So as the knee lifts, we might have a tendency to roll back, but let's try not to roll back. We're just going to keep the hips stacked and just lift the knee as we lift the arm up. So you might look, can you get that arm straight up? Not everyone can. Some of us, our shoulders are a little tight or restricted, but we're working towards getting that fist to face the ceiling and then coming back down. Just warming up the hip as well. So we'll do a few more of these. You can inhale and exhale. Elbow stays by the waist as much as you can. We'll do two more here. These muscles in the back of the shoulders tend to be weak, and I can tell I haven't done this in a while. All right, place the weight down. Make your way onto all fours. Again, if kneeling isn't great for you, you can stand with your hands on a chair at this point. Otherwise, knees beneath hips and wrists beneath shoulders. So again, if you have a light weight, or even a heavy weight, actually, you could use potentially a heavy weight for this one. You can use a weight or not. So have a weight, let's have a weight by our right hand, just to the side by your right hand. And then take your left leg and press out through your heel. So we're going to push the heel back and pull the toes to the floor and press strongly out through the heel so you feel the whole leg engage. And notice if you arched your back or dropped your belly, keep your belly strong, support your low back. So one option, if we're not using the weight, is to take the opposite arm and just reach it out in front and hold spinal balance. That's one option. The other option is going to be to take the weight in your opposite hand. I'm going to turn so you can see me. And we're going to do tricep extension. So get your elbow by your waist, and we're going to extend that arm back and bend it in. So the leg doesn't move, but the arm is going to extend back and bend in. Extend back and bend in. Extend back. So you're just holding that leg. You're really firing up through the hamstring and glute, just holding that leg, keeping the low back supported. So a little tone in the belly as we extend that tricep back and bend in. Let's do 2 more triceps. Back and in and back and in. Good. You can put the weight down, bring your knee down, and then we're going to change sides. So you put the weight on the other side. When you're ready, press back through your right heel. Really strongly now. You could just kind of have the leg relax, but we got the leg engaged. We're pushing strongly through the heel, toes pulling to the floor. Supporting the low back, a little tone in the belly. Then either the left arm reaches out in front, or we grab the weight, elbow by the waist, and we extend back and bend in. Get that full extension back so the tricep really fires. Extend back and bend in. Extend back and bend in. So the elbow, from the shoulder to the elbow, it doesn't move. It's just that lower arm. Extending back and bending in. Extending back and bending in. We'll do 4 more. Get that full extension with the arm. Keep the strength in the leg, the support for the low back. Let's do 1 more. Nice job. Set the weight down. Release the knee to the floor. Let's take child's pose. Sit back on your heels. You could have your arms way out in front, forehead to the floor, or you can support your head on your bent arms. Take a few breaths here. Connect, feel, notice, check in. One more deep breath in and out. And then let's lift the head up. We'll reach the arms way out in front, and let's make our way up to downward facing dog. Pushing down with the hands, lifting the hips up and back, letting the head and neck relax. You can move your head around a little bit. You can move your hips a little bit. Just loosen up here. Let's pedal the heels down a little bit, bending a knee and pushing a heel down. Spending a little time upside down and getting a stretch through the spine, through the backs of the legs, a little traction with the weight of the head. And then let's bend both our knees a bit, planting the hands, really pull the hips way up and back, big breath in and out. And then walk your hands back towards your feet. Let your heels come down. You're folded over bent knees. You're just a rag doll, arms and head heavy. Really plant your feet now, and then draw your belly in and roll yourself up. Roll yourself up slowly, gradually, stacking your vertebrae. And then the last thing to come up, being your head. Let's take the arms out and inhale, lift up, reach up, a little bit of spinal extension here. And then let your arms release down. We'll turn towards the camera. We can have our hands on our hips, feet right beneath us. Let's just come up, lift the heels up. Get the calves to fire and then lower back down. Come on up and lower down. Yeah, just warm up the feet, the ankles, the calves, the knees, the thighs, everything works when we do this. Works for our balance too. I heard a study yesterday about yoga helping older people avoid falls, reduced falls by 50%. Part of it is just really noticing and feeling your body, awareness of your body, awareness of your feet. Of course, we work these muscles that we need to stay strong for our balance, ankles being Huge. All right, could you lift up and then just lift one foot a little bit, whoops, off the floor and lower down. I did this better when I practiced earlier. Lift up and lift one foot off the floor and lower down. Yeah, lift up, lift one foot off the floor and lower down. Couple more. Lift up, take one foot off the floor and lower down. One more time. Lift up, take one foot off the floor. Notice we get better with practice. Let's do it one more time. Lift one foot off the floor and lower down. Lift up, lift one foot off the floor and lower down. Nice job. All right, we're gonna do some squats, and you can use some weights for this or not. So I would take your heavier weights probably, or you can choose your lighter weights, or if you have one set of weights, you'll use those. If you're not using weights, you're just gonna push your hands up without the weights. So take the weights by your shoulders, come in just like a squat position. So feet about hip distance or a little wider apart, slight external turn out of your toes, and then sit back into your squat. Check that your knees, toes go in the same way, and then we're gonna straighten up. So we're gonna sit back and straighten up. This time as we straighten up, we'll press up. Again, if you don't have weights, just push the heel of your hands to the ceiling. Sit and push up. Sit and press up. Sit back and press up. We're gonna get the legs working here. Then the arms. Sit and press and sit and press. As we come up this time, if we want, we can try lifting a knee and then sit into your squat and lift the other knee. Sit into your squat, lift. Sit and lift. Sit and lift. You could change the knee lift to a leg lift if you like. So, sit and lift. Sit and lift. Sit and lift. Let's go back to a knee lift. Sit and lift the knee. Sit and lift the knee. One more time on each side, lifting the knee. And then we'll just do a few squat and press up, squat. So we're not lifting anything now. Two more like this. And then we'll just do 2 squats without pressing the arms up. Just sitting and coming up. Great. Put your weights down. All right, we're gonna keep warming up the body a little bit here and work the core a little bit. So with our feet beneath us, we're gonna take the arms up and we're just gonna, similar kind of movement. We're gonna lift a knee and bring the elbow to the knee and then reach up, elbow to knee, reach up, elbow to knee. So we're coming across the body. So we gotta kind of engage the midsection here to help pull the arm across. You can kind of try and target the elbow to the outside of the knee to get a little deeper crunch here. Pull across, pull across, pull across. We could even go a little faster here. Pull across, pull across. Yeah, nice. A few more of these. And then similar movement, we're gonna take the knee out, pull down. Take the knee out and pull down. Knee goes wide, elbows pull down wide. Pull out, pull out, pull out, pull out. A couple more like this. And then we're gonna go back to pulling across. So pull across to the knee, across, across, and then pull out. Knee comes wide. We'll just do these in 4s. Come across, come across, come across, come across, and then knee wide. Good. Getting warm here. One more time, come across, come across, come across, come across, and take the knees wide. Out, 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 out. Good job. All right. We're gonna do some flowing on our mat. I want you to stand at the back of your mat. Stand at the back of your mat, ground down, to stand tall. Let's take the arms out. Inhale, arms up. As we exhale, we'll fold forward. And we're going to walk the hands forward out into a plank position, push-up position. Nice and long and strong. Take a breath. And then we'll walk our hands back. Drop the heels down. Bend the knees and lower the hips. Bring the hands to heart. Hips low, chest lifted. Push down, rise up. Drop the arms, inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Walk your hands out into a plank. Hold that plank position. Take your hips up and back to down dog. Breathe in and out. Then walk your hands back. Hips over feet. Bend the knees into a squat. Hands come to heart. Lift your chest. Reach your arms forward now. Sit back on your heels. Take one arm and sweep it behind you. Inhale and open and twist. Try to keep your knees together and just twist your upper body. And they don't have to be together, but even. Sweep that arm down, reach it forward. Sweep your other arm back. Inhale and twist that direction. Try to keep your knees parallel. Take a breath. Sweep that arm down. Fold over. Drop your arms, drop your head. Lift your hips. Then walk your hands forward into a plank position. Hold your plank position here. You could drop to your knees if you like. We're going to bend the elbows a bit. Hold here. Breathe. And then we're going to lower down. You could drop to knees first. We're going to bring the chest to the floor. Come on to the tops of the feet. Nice and long, toes to crown. Heel of your hands may slide back a bit. Let's inhale up to baby cobra. And exhale back down. Let's do that again. Inhale up to baby cobra. Lifting the hands up. Lift the elbows to the ceiling. Hug them in a little bit. Fire up the muscles of the upper back. And then release your hands. Release your chest. This time, hands stay down. Inhale up to baby cobra. And then maybe push down to come up a little higher to cobra. And then exhale to release down. Let's push up to knees. Curl the toes under, lift the knees. Take the hips up and back to down dog. Breathe in and out here. Then walk the hands back towards the feet. Fold it over. Bend your knees, lower your hips. Hands to heart, chair pose, sitting in your chair pose. Reach your arms forward. Reach your arms up by your ears. Push down into your feet and legs. Inhale and rise up. Exhale, arms down at your side. Nice. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Walk your hands out into plank position. Find your plank. Little bend in the elbows. Maybe drop, let's all drop to knees and lower the chest down. We're gonna do some push-ups. So we can push up to knees and then lift the knees. We could lower to knees and lower down. You can also take out the knee part if you can. So you could lower down without coming to knees, perhaps, or you'd use your knees. You could push up without coming to knees, perhaps, or you use the knees as that intermediate step. But we're just coming all the way down and then making our way all the way up. We're going to do a few more of these. Lowering down and coming back up. Last one. Lowering down and coming back up. Next time you're in plank, pull up and back to down dog. Breathe in and out. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Fold it over here. Bend your knees, lower your hips. Sweep your arms forward. Sweep your arms up. Push down into your legs. Rise up, breath in. Exhale, arms down. You're doing great. One more time. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, swan dive. Walk your hands out into your plank. Find your plank position. Take a breath. Try a little bend in your elbows. Notice how that fires up your triceps. And then lower yourself all the way down. Great. So tops of the feet on the floor. Take your arms like a cactus or like goalposts, like right angles. Hover your head close to the floor. Back of the neck long, crown of the head extending forward as you reach back through your toes. So tops of the feet can press down, front of the hips can press down. We're going to inhale and lift the chest like a baby cobra, but at the same time, we're going to lift these bent arms, and then we're going to lower back down. So inhale, lift the chest, lift the arms, lift the elbows, the hands, and then lower back down. Inhale, lift up, elbows, wrists, and lower down. Inhale and lift, and lower down. Now reach back through your toes, press the front of the hips down, lift the legs up. So the lower body lifts, long and strong through the whole leg, and then relax the legs down. So let's do those together. So we're gonna lift the chest, lift the arms, lift the legs, and then lower down. Again, lift the legs, lift the chest, lift the arms, breathe, and lower down. Two more like that. Lifting up, staying long, and lowering down. One more time. Lifting up and lowering down. Nice work. Let's bring hands next to chest. We'll make our way up to plank. We'll make our way up and back to down dog. We'll breathe in and out here. Let's look a little forward, and this time walk our feet up toward our hands. So we end up more towards the front of our mat. Fold it over. So feet are hip distance here. We want our feet hip distance. We're going to bend the knees and lower the hips. Bring the hands to heart. Keep the hips low and lift the chest up. Sitting back in our chair. From here, let's take a big step back with our left foot. Big step back. You can start with your heel down, but then can you lift the heel up? Try to get the heel pointing straight back. So right now we're kind of leaned forward over that front bent leg. We're going to straighten the front leg and we're going to lift the chest up. Let's bring our hands to hips. So at this point, we're just going to bend the front knee forward and keep the back leg fairly straight, and then straighten that front leg. If you need to put the back heel on the floor, that's all right. Then that hip's going to be turned back a little bit. If that back heel is lifted, both hips can stay square to the front of your mat. So we're going to bend the knee and straighten the knee. Bend the knee and straighten. Two more like this. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. Now this time we're going to change it a little bit. The back knee is going to bend down as the front knee bends. So both knees are bending. And you decide how far down you go, and then push up. So both knees bend, push up. When you're pushing up, think about pushing the feet down to straighten the legs. It's the pushing of the feet into the floor that pushes you up. Bend and straighten. Bend, push up. Bend, push up. Couple more. Bend, push up. Bend, push up. Great. Let's bring our hands to heart again. Bend your front knee and lean forward. And then step your back foot in. So you're sitting back in your chair, your feet are hip distance apart. Other side, big step back with the right foot now. Start with your heel down perhaps. Maybe you keep it down, or could you lift it up, rotate the heel straight back. Then straighten the front leg, lift your shoulders now over your hips, hands come to hips. Back leg stays fairly straight now as we bend the front knee forward and straighten the front leg. Bend the knee forward, push into the foot to straighten the leg. Bend the knee forward, push to straighten. Couple more like this. Nice. The next time the leg is straight, we're going to bend the back knee down toward the floor. The front knee will bend as well. And then push to straighten. Bend both knees, push to straighten. Bend both knees, push to straighten. Couple more like this. Changing where we feel the work, changing where we feel the stretch. Bending, pushing down to straighten. Bending, pushing down to straighten. Two more. Bending and pushing up. Last one like this. Then bring your hands to heart. Bend the front knee, lean forward. Step the back foot in. Sit back in your chair. Let's take the arms forward. Let's reach the arms up. We're going to push down to inhale and reach up. We'll exhale our arms down at our side. Great. Let's turn and face forward. You're going to want two lighter weights. If you have the weights, I would pick up your lighter weights. You can do this without weights as well. So we'll come into a wide stance. Let's turn the left foot in. We'll turn the right foot out. And as we're here, we'll take the arms out wide. So if you don't have weights, you're just gonna push out through the heel of your hands, and you can just do this without weights. If you have weights, you're holding them out, fists are forward. We're gonna bend the front knee. As the knee bends, we're gonna reach the arms overhead. And then as we straighten, we'll just take them up to the side. So inhale as you bend, exhale forward. So palms face each other and fists face forward. Fists face each other, fists face forward. Inhale to lift, exhale to open. Keep the outer back foot pressing down. Keep that front foot pushing down to straighten the leg. Two more like this, up and out, and up and out. So now we're going to take this back arm. As we bend the knee, we're going to sweep the back arm around, turn the chest to the side, and then bow and arrow back. Open your chest towards the computer. Sweep your arm around, chest turns towards that front bent knee, bow and arrow, chest turns the other way. So sweep it around and then bow and arrow. It's a lot of work to hold that arm up, isn't it? Sweep it around and bow and arrow. Let's do one more. Sweep it around, bow and arrow, opening out. Great. Let's relax the arms. We're going to tip the hips over. So the bottom arm will rest on this leg, and you're just holding that weight. This arm, we're going to let it drop down. And so the chest is turned toward the floor now. Your chest and your gaze turn toward the floor. This arm that's dropped down, we're going to pull that arm up towards your armpit. Start to rotate the chest towards the computer, and then press up with this arm. And then we'll reverse that. Chest faces the floor, rotate, chest faces the computer. Rotate down, pull up like you're starting your lawnmower, and then reach up. Rotate down. So lift the elbow, rotate the chest, reach up, and then rotate down. Start your lawnmower, reach up, and rotate down. Let's do a few more of these. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower, inhale to lift, and lower one more time. Reach up. Actually, let's stay up this time, and then we're just going to push down with that front leg and rise up. Nice. Turn your feet forward, go to the second side. Right foot turns in, left foot turns out. Take the arms out wide, bend the front knee. As we bend the knee, we're going to reach the arms up. Straighten the leg, arms reach up. Bend, reach up, straighten and open. Inhale to lift, exhale to open. Back foot is pressing into the floor as the front knee bends. Two more like this. Last one like this. Great. So this arm that's behind, sweep it around. Your chest faces the front of your mat, the short line of your mat. Then you pull that elbow back and open out, long line of your mat. Sweep the arm around, face the short end of your mat, pull back, open, face the long line of your mat. Sweep around, pull back, and open. So holding the weight in that straight arm gets pretty challenging. If you need to rest that arm, you can. Sweep the back arm around, bow and arrow back. 2 more. Sweep that arm around, bow and arrow back. 1 more. Sweep that arm around, bow and arrow back. Good work. Relax your arms, bend your front knee, tip your hips over, rest this arm on this bottom leg. Take the other arm, drop it down. Turn your chest, your gaze to the floor, and then you can start to think about this movement coming from your shoulder pulling back, and then your elbow pulling up, your hand comes to your armpit, rotating your chest, and then reaching up. And then that whole thing reverses down. So lift your shoulder, lift your elbow, rotate your chest, and press up, and then reverse that. So lift, rotate, press, and then reverse. Lift, rotate, press up, and then reverse. We got a few more of these. So we're rotating the trunk. We're using the external rotators of the shoulder. Let's do 2 more. Rotate and press up, and release down. This time as you press up, keep it up, push into the front leg, rise up. Release it down, turn that foot in, walk your feet forward. All right, we're gonna do one more thing with the weights here. So lighter weights for sure. You might drop the weights. We're gonna do lateral raises. So just step back with one leg and the front knee is bent. You just wanna be leaned forward some way, all right? So we can have the back foot on the floor and we're gonna do a lateral raise. So we're just gonna reach the arms straight out to the side. We can do that with the foot on the floor. You could also try to move into a balance, balancing warrior, press out through the heel, and then same thing, lateral raise. We're just lifting against gravity. Again, we're focusing on the back of the shoulders, lifting the arms straight out and lowering down. Lifting the arms straight out and lowering down. If you're in the balance, strong pressing out through the heel, just like we did on our knee earlier. Nice and long heel to crown. 2 more like this. Lifting out and lowering down. Lifting out. So we'll put that foot down. We'll straighten up. You can step in. We'll go right to the other side. So it's taking a big step back and leaning forward. Arms are dropped down and they reach out to the side with the foot on the floor, or you can try the balance, lifting that leg up, ideally parallel to the floor. A lot of work on the standing leg, and then lateral raises. Lifting against gravity, out to the side and down. Out to the side and down. Do a few more of these. Keep breathing. Let's just do 1 more. Out to the side and down. Good job. We'll step in. Great. Okay. You can put your weights down. This next one, if you have a heavier weight, I'd pick up 1 heavier weight. If you just have 1 weight, grab 1 weight. Maybe if you have 1 size weight. And you could also do this without a weight. This is just, again, kind of for the oblique muscles, the muscles that rotate the trunk. And we'll work the arms a little bit too. So this is sometimes called like wood chop. So we're gonna start kind of rotating on your back foot and holding your weight or just your arms down by your hip. And then we're gonna rotate on the other back foot and reach up. So you're rotating down and rotating up. So you're turning your shoulders to one side, turning your shoulders to the other side. Rotating down, rotating up. And you're changing the angle of your feet so that knees and toes can always be in the same direction. So we're rotating down, lifting up, down, lifting up. Keep your core strong and engaged. So you're not just flinging your arms overhead and dumping into your low back. You feel some support, some control through your midsection. So we're going to do this direction 2 more times, going down and reaching up. And the next time you come down, we're going to go down to the other side. So rotate on your back foot and then reach up to the other corner. So rotate down and rotate up. Rotate down, rotate up. Down and up. Yeah. So just incorporating some different movements today, as we frequently do. Just trying to switch it up. Our body gets very conditioned to whatever we do all the time. So it's good to challenge ourselves and try things that we maybe don't do all the time. So we'll just do 4 more of these. And up, and down, and up, down, and up. Last one. Down, and up. Great job. All right, we're going to put our weights down, and we're going to make our way down to the floor. So come all the way down onto the floor, and rather than lying with your feet on your mat, I want your feet to be off your mat, hopefully on a surface where there's just a little bit of ability to slide your heels. All right, so if you're on a wood floor, I mean, hopefully it'll work, whatever surface you're on. So you're gonna maybe have your upper body on your mat, but you want to be able to slide your heels in towards your bum and out again. All right, and that's hard to do on a sticky mat. So lie yourself down with your feet off of your sticky mat when they're close to your bum. And then we're just gonna slide the heels away and then slide them in. So do that with your feet hip distance apart. Slide your heels away till your legs are straight, toes to the ceiling, and then slide your heels in. Once the heels come in, set up for a bridge pose and press up into a bridge. Lift your hips up. Take a breath and then lower down out of your bridge. And then slide your heels away, keep them hip distance, slide them in, plant your feet, lift up into a bridge and lower back down. Slide your heels away, slide them back in, press up into a bridge and lower back down. Continue like that. You might notice how you start to wake up your hamstrings, right? The hamstrings work as you slide your heels in, and then the hamstrings work to press you up into a bridge. Yeah, so slide your heels away, slide your heels in, press up into a bridge and lower down. A few more like this. Slide your heels away, slide your heels in, press up into a bridge and lower yourself down. Slide your heels away, slide your heels in, press up into a bridge and lower down. And last one, slide your heels away, slide your heels in. This time press up into the bridge, stay up in the bridge and lift one foot off the floor and then bring that foot back down, lift your other foot off the floor. So you're just bringing your knee up in the air and then putting your foot back down, bringing your knee up and putting your foot back down. Now, can you keep your hips high as you do this? And can you keep your feet hip distance apart? So the tendency is to bring your feet more central, but try to keep them apart. And that makes it a little harder. So lift the knee, put the foot back down, lift the knee, put the foot back down. One more time on each side. Put the foot down and roll yourself out. Great. Roll to the side, push yourself up, make your way up to kneeling, And we're gonna put all the weight on one knee. So if you would like to cushion your knee with a blanket, you could do so. And we'll have our knees hip distance. We're gonna bring one hand to the floor and we're gonna take that foot out to the side. So the foot, the knee, and the hand all aligned. Take this leg, we're just gonna lift it up. Press out through the heel and then lower the inner foot down. Lift the foot up and lower the heel, the whole inner foot down. Lift and lower and lift and lower and lift and lower. Now we're gonna lift the leg up and we're gonna make little circles, trying to keep the trunk steady and stable. Little circles in one direction and then little circles in the other direction. Nice. Hold that leg out straight, lower the foot down, and then change sides. So you can be on both knees and then lean over the other way. Line up hand, knee, foot, hand on hip. Then lift that leg up, press out through your heel. Nice and long heel to crown. We'll lower the leg down and lift it up. Lower the leg down and lift it up. So working the outer leg, the outer hip. There's some work happening in the body too. So now press out through that heel and little circles. Just moving from the hip, trying not to move the torso. Circle in this direction one more time, and then change the direction in that circle. Nice work. Second side is always harder. Good job. Press out through the heel, lower the foot down, push yourself up, come to knees. We're going to take child's pose. So child's pose, if your knees are together, you might not be able to sit back quite as far or round as far, but it's a really lovely release. So as much as you can, knees together as you fold over, and let your forehead be supported. If it doesn't reach the floor, rest it on two fists stacked or on your arms. And just take a few deep breaths into the back of your lungs, back of your ribs. And let that breath empty all the way out. One more time like that. Let it go all the way out of you. And then lift your head up. We'll make our way around to lying down. We'll do a couple things on our back before our final relaxation, but you're welcome to put a blanket under your head if that's better for you. So we're gonna lie back and let's hug one knee in, other leg straight on the ground, heavy, bottom leg, and then the top knee hugs in. And let's just lift that leg up. Give it a nice little stretch. Hold behind the thigh, or you could slide your hand up the leg. Just a nice stretch. Flex and point the foot. Yeah. Whatever's a good stretch for you in that top leg. Take a breath. Bend that knee as you exhale and change legs. Hug your other knee in. Extend the other leg out, heavy on the floor. Nice big hug of the knee. And then lift the leg up. Hold behind the leg wherever offers you the best ability to feel stretch in the back of that leg. You might flex, you might point, you might circle, you might lift your head, whatever feels good. Take a breath. And then bend the knee. Release that foot. This time, take both your knees in. Give them a hug. With your knees in close, drop your arms out wide. Take a breath in. With your exhale, let your knees drop all the way over to one side till the bottom leg touches the floor, the top leg settles on top. Reach back through the arm behind, turn your chest and your gaze to the ceiling or to look back at your arm behind you. Take a few deep breaths in and out here. Let that exhale allow you to maybe drop a little deeper into your twist. After your next exhale empties all the way out, begin to bring your top knee up and then your bottom knee. With your knees in close, let both knees drop all the way to the other side. Bottom leg touches the floor, top leg settles on top. Try to stack those knees and then open to the ceiling or turn back and look at that arm behind you and breathe deeply here. Feel the movement of your breath. Feel the exhale empty out. After your next exhale is fully released, you can bring your top knee up, bring your bottom knee up, release your feet down. And we're going to move into our final relaxation. So taking whatever time you need to get comfortable, you might slide a bolster under your knees, you might slide a blanket under your head, you might put on a layer, you might open up the windows and feel the breeze or whatever would allow you to be most comfortable. I suppose you could even move out onto your deck, enjoy the sunshine, but find a place where you can lie back easy, comfortable. If you're in your room, you could lie on your bed. And allow your body to do what it is inclined to do when you lie down, which is to relax. Just allow your body to be as it is. We gave ourselves all kinds of instruction for the last hour, and we asked ourselves to do many things. We focused and we engaged our muscles. And now we're just going to let the body and the mind have some time to rest, to let go of all that work and focus and concentration, and just be as we are. Release. Soften. Open. Relax. Surrender. Let go. Allow. Just be. No effort. As you continue lying back, I'll share with you a little reading from Melody Beattie's Journey to the Heart. This is called Delight in Yourself. Stop picking on yourself, worrying if you're good enough, wondering what people will see if you let them see your heart. This is what they'll see, that you are a lovable and delightful soul, a beautiful child of God or the universe. Be yourself and accept yourself, warts, waistline, and all. You don't have to sit up that straight, be that proper, or fear what others may see. Let your imperfections show. Share them. Love yourself anyway. Relax and be who you are. When you do that, your life will be fun and a joyful gift to others. People who comfortably accept who they are, both their flaws and their good points, are healing, delightful, and fun to be around. Look at any work of nature, a canyon, a flower, a bird, a mountain, or a forest trail. Where does the perfection begin and imperfection end? It's the combination that makes a perfect scene. So it is with you. Relax, lighten up, let go of shame and fear. The whole picture is perfect and perfectly okay. So that's the end of the class. You're welcome to lie down. You're welcome to get up. You're welcome to head off. You're welcome to come and say hello. It was great to be with you this morning. Peace. Have a lovely day. And I'm going to stop the recording.